Hello, guys. Very good evening to my channel. And today I'm here to with a very new concept and a very interesting concept. So here we are creating one to-do list. As you see in my screen, that we are here with a new project, a to-do list where you can add your task. Like I am adding my task that I want to learn Python, and the status was I'm very beginner, so I'm just done 10% of my work, and let's just save my task for the earlier days. And I can edit also my day by day when I learn Python, and I um, improve my skills in Python, so that that time I can increase the status by 30%. I am already done with 30% of Python. And also I can learn also. My another task is I want to learn Java also, that I have done 20%. So okay, then save it. And if my like that Python, okay, let's edit that Python portion, and I have done it 100%. And edit, if I have done with Python, then I can delete it also. When you press on that delete icon, you have a confirmation page also. Are you sure you want to delete? And then press this button, so your learn Python is already deleted, as you can see in my screen. Also, I can delete this portion also, like the previous one. Then my list is totally blank now. So I can now I have another decision. I want to learn C, so I just added C, and I have done 10%. So okay, then save it, and save learn C as a task for my earlier days. And I will I let all you know about this task. Okay, now we are doing with the code. I will explain the code to you very easily. Okay, so I'm just hiding this. Okay, let's see the code first. So, in the very first, we are here. As you can see in my screen, I am creating one project. I'm creating one project, and under that project, I am creating one app, which name is to do app. So my project name is to do, and under that I am creating one app which is to do app. And by default I am having this Python files in my project, as you can see in my previous videos. And in my app I have this ini.py, admin, apps, models.py, test.py, and views.py. Previously, I have created one urls.py by my own. And my project, my Django project, is not aware of this URL. So what I have to done, I have just uh, mentioned this to do app along with the URL that I have created here. For this reason, I have to first declare this include, and with this include function, I am just mention my app name along with the period and my URLs which I have created. And so in this URL under my app, what I have written, I'm just from this period from input views, I'm just importing my views folder. and I will show you guys what I have written inside this view. At very first, I'm just showing you the URLs of the to do app. As you can see in this, uh, as you can see in this, okay, sorry for the interruption. As you can see in the URLs, I have mentioned first. I have I am just calling a path function, and here in the path function we have three parameters. As you can see, first parameter is an empty string. The second parameter, here we have a views folder along with period. We are having one function name. So if I press control, so yeah, here you can see if I press enter, so it will redirect to that home. Under my views folder, here we have a function name home that I have mentioned there, and then I am just declaring the name as home, and the another uh, like that I'm just creating edit slash init int task id. this is a this is a query params. Like, this is very important to you all, so please mind it. It is a query params and it is dynamic data, as we all can see here. Like, if we want to edit this in my URL here, edit along with 3, what is this 3? This is the ID. So this is the id of this exact row. So, and as well as if we are moving our cursor to this edit icon in the corner, so in the very corner of my screen you can see edit slash 3. That 3 is the id. So here you can see this is came from here, and this int, this is the data type, and along with that the task id. This task id is um, change changed by the user, which row or which id is chosen by the user. That id is showing here. So if the user choose id number 3, so it will show like edit 3, and like that. As well as the delete is the same, and along with that we are having our next parameter views along with our next task edit. It is a function name. We will discuss it later. And this name edit, I am discuss every parameter very minutely with you guys. So now we are going to the views folder, sorry, the views file. Here we are written some of our functions which we have used in our code, by which we are creating this to-do list. So here you can see in my views file, I am creating a home function, which uh, what is the work of this home function? This is just help us to take this input, like learn. I want to learn python. This is my task, and I'm already done with 80%, so let's save it. So when so let's came to the VS code, and here my function. So when I'm just here in the address bar and press enter, and if there is nothing, so if I'm here, if the user didn't press the submit button or the save button, this if is not gonna work. So we are just hiding it. So after that, if the request, like when the URLs from this URLs, uh, the home is being called, this home function is being called. So this request, at the very first, user is not clicking on any button, so the request is direct come to this. So they came to this return, this render line, and this render will give us like, we are having this template folder, template file name index.html and context like. So and at the very first there is nothing in our, there is nothing. So if we are not clicking in the, not put any of the data in the task and also in the status, we are not clicking the save button. So for that time, this if condition is not gonna work. Then the direct it came to this render function, and that time this index.html gonna work and show us the template. So we now we are going to this index.html, and we can see what is there in our index.html. So now here is nothing. I'm just first I'm just add this cdn links from bootstrap, and I'm just adding this cdn link from font awesome for my icons, and as well as I'm just adding this script also. So this is nothing but the DOM element, as the user is not gonna click on any save button. So this is not gonna work now. At the very first, just it will it will just click like, it will just show the list. So if it will show the, entire template. And if after that, if the user like, I'm doing it, I'm just doing it like, learn java, and I have done it 50%, then I'm just save it. When I'm clicking on the save button, so that time the routes goes to, that time for the routes goes to this url again, and from this url it moved to the home again, and this home is under this views file. So for that time this request is this if condition is gonna true, and this post, from where we are getting this post, from index.html, where we are using this form, and this form's method is post, and we are using one token, one csrf token, which is important, very important for the security reasons. And this CRSF token, this data is stored in the Django. For that reason, this CSRF token is very important. So we have to use it every time. So, if the user press in the save button, the control comes here under this if condition, and here we are simply the request.post.get. We are taking those data, this task data, and store it to this task variable. As well as we are taking the status data and store it to the status variable, and we are simply um, simply we are just increase the id that we are declared here, the POS globally. We are using this globally, so we are declared it. And here we are just, this is nothing but POS equals to POS plus 1. It means just this. And after that, we can use this like, if the task and the status, if the task, yes, it is there. If the user is not gonna press that save button empty, they will put the data, and then they will click on save. So the inside the task, we are put inside, like we are creating one context which is dictionary type. So we are sorry, but mainly we are taking one dictionary, and we are store that dictionary inside this variable name context. And that context task, we are storing this task, and context status, we are storing status. And inside the task list, what is this task list? And the very first of our program, as you can see, this is a list. And inside that list we are append list period append pause task and the status. We are inserting our tuple. This is a nothing but a tuple. This is a tuple, and we are adding those tuples um, inside our list. This whole thing is a tuple, and we are adding this tuple inside this list. And after that, nothing but context dictionary. And this is a key value pair. This is our key, which is task, and task list, this is our value which we will store inside this key. And if this is nothing but for security, if there is no data, and that user is gonna save, so it will show a message that no task found. Okay. And it gonna do and this task. So now it will go to the index HTML, and you can see. So here I am doing one condition statement, which is if task. So if the user put any task, so what will happen then? Here I am just putting one table, which the table head ID task, status, edit task, delete task, nothing. And after that, inside the body, I am just taking one for loop, which is this for task in task. Like in every task, we have this key task. So task 0, task 1, and task 2 along with this period. So it will nothing but it will just showing in, as you can see, this ID is task 0, and this learn C is task 1, and this is task 2. This is nothing but it will show the data to the table. And after that, we are just taking one icon, which will help to edit our program, our datas. And another is for delete. We are taking this icon for delete, and for that reason I am using font awesome. And if you want to use this, you have to just nothing, just say, just add this cdn of font awesome. Okay, for using this icons. And here, as you can see, here I am using a anchor tag. And in the href, I'm just using one new thing, that url edit task 0. So what is this? This edit is nothing but what we have mentioned earlier in the name. This is edit. This is came from this index.html. URL edit. This is the name which we have mentioned earlier in our urls.py. This name, and then it will uh, came here and make it a dynamic URL. Nothing but it will came from the index.html, and this will make a dynamic URL just easy. So now the index.html is over. After that, I'm just ending my for loop and ending my if. And here, as you can see, in my views.py, I have another I have another function which name is edit task. Edit task is another function not uh, which will work like this. If we click on this icon edit, it will put my previous data to this DOM element, and also this DOM element. After I'm just edit this, like I am doing is 20%, and just put my cursor on this button and press enter. If I enter, it will change. It will edit my data with the previous one. This will done by this. So as you can see in my screen, this edit task, after at very first I'm just taking, in the very first, this request is not gonna work. It take the id first, and from where we get this id, we are getting this id from the urls.py, and which data is taking from, okay, here I am just from here, the user is getting. So here you can see, if I take my cursor here, so it will see edit 3. So 3 is the id. So if I press on that, the url is fetching the id, and it will then redirect to the send to this function edit task, to this parameter task id. And in the very first, I'm just taking one variable which is initially none, and another I have a variable which is task index, which I initially I'm just initialize it in -1. And after that, as you can see, if the user is not press any of the button, then it will not gonna work. So in the very first, if the user is not clicking the button, so this part is not gonna work. No post method is gonna work. And the I'm just doing one iteration. As you can see in my screen, it will just putting one I variable, and I'm just checking the length of the list. And after that, I'm taking one condition. If my it will check the id of the inside the list. If the id is present, as we all know, it is very compulsory that the id is have the id is present in the list, because the user is pressing on the list. So it is very must that the id is present. But I'm just checking that id inside that list. If it is matched, then inside this task variable, I'm just to put that I put that value, and the index I'm set it in I. So that I value, I'm just increase that I value. So I'm just I'm just comparing that I value with this task index. And after that, if there is no value, it is for just for checking. If you don't want to do this, you can. So this if the task is not found by a task is not found, then it simply shows a message to the user that the no task is found, no task found. And after that, the after that if the user so here the here and so the id is found, and then this is not gonna work because the user not press any of the button. So the direct the what I have said, like direct the control. Okay, direct control is here in the render function. And previously I'm just putting a key value, I am just using this key value pair. And yeah, under this key which is name task, and I'm just putting this task inside which I have mentioned previously, like this inside this task I am just putting my values, and that task I am just stored in this key value. And after that, this render function is being called, and by this render function, this edit.html is called. So what is under my edit.html, as you can see, like previously I'm just adding the bootstrap cdn, and I am using again a form for taking for editing the user input, or editing the task or the status of the task. So I'm just using one form, and as I am using a form, again I have to use my csrf token for security, as this data is gonna store into django. So I have to use a csrf token, and this method is post type. So in this you can see there is a dom element called value. This is new to you because I am not using this inside my index.html. So what is the reason behind it? I'm just putting the value task 1 and task 2. So it you can get this by, if I press this icon, so you can see the data which I have already stored inside the previously which I have stored, that is here in the in this uh, in this input section that is present, and I can edit by seeing them. So instead of C, I'm just putting it Python, and then if I press enter, then on that button, so this edit button, then my if I just updated my task and the status of my task, and then if I press in this edit button, then the control directly came to the URLs, and from here, from the URLs route, and from here I am getting the direct access direct my control goes to this edit task, and this edit task is here inside this view file, and then the request is gonna happen, and then again this portion is not gonna work directly. The control goes here, and then the form post method is gonna true. And after that, we just previously here we having some data, and if the user is gonna change those data or they remain same, that will store to this variable named task status. And it will store like I am taking another tuple. This updated task is a tuple, and my new data I am store into this tuple, and I am simply add those data those I am just simply add this tuple to my list, to my task list, but inside that specific index which I have get from here. This I is stored in this task index, and this task index I am using inside my list, and inside that index, exactly that index, I am just putting my tuple, and it will just overlap my previous data. And that's how we are editing our previous data by our new data. And after that, I'm just using a key value pair. Here task is my key, and I'm just putting my value, my task list inside those key, and redirect to the home. This redirect is a new word to my user, as I'm not taking this word previously. So what is the work of this redirect? So for this is we are going here, like if we want to edit, so I'm just edit previously. So if I put my cursor on edit, and if I press enter, so it will redirect to the home again. So please see on the you address bar, and if I press here, so it will show a extra portion along with localhost 8000. It will show the another route edit, and along with the task id. So if I press on this enter button, it will again goes to my home url, which is localhost 8000. Nothing but just it take me to the home again. And where here we are just simply we done no template, nothing, no request, no context. I'm just putting the name which I have mentioned here previously, and that home I'm just mentioning inside this redirect function, and it will take me to the home route again. And so that's how we are performing the edit. And after that, I'm just want to delete some tasks that I have completed my learn python. I have completed learn python. And as you can see, I am just putting two times, I'm just putting python two times. So I'm just want to delete this task id number 3. So I'm just clicking on this delete task button, and as you can see, here is a confirmation page, like are you sure you want to delete. Then if I press on delete, it will redirect to the home again. And as you can see in my screen, the python learn python, the task number 3, the id 3 is not here. So it's deleted already. So as if I just press on this delete, as you can see in the address bar, it will again with another route delete and along with the 4, which is the task id. And if I press on, so I'm just back, so I don't want to delete. So okay, if I saw in my code, so in the URLs, that this is the dynamic URL, and this is my query params. This is change every time, so that's why I'm saying this. It is a dynamic URL, and this task ID is gonna change every time by the user. So which is choose by the user, that id is showing here, and that id is integer type, nothing but. And the route is here. If I'm just putting my cursor on the delete icon and if I press enter, then my route is came here. And inside that I have one function which name is delete task inside my views file. So I just gonna there. uh, so as you can see in my screen, that here is another function which is name is delete task. And at the very first, as I have mentioned, this request is not gonna work. At first the task id I have got from the urls.py from here, that which data or which task is choose by the user, that the id is came here. And from there I'm just putting one variable which I have initialized none in the very first, and task index as -1. And and the where and the for, as you can see, I have doing one for it like iteration. Inside this iteration I have just doing nothing. I'm just using one I variable, and I'm just using I variable, and another variable is uh, current task. And inside enumerate task list, which is we are using this enumerate task list, this functions returns both index and the value of the current item or current task, and the value of the index like I, and the value of the current tasks both. Uh, so this functions return both the index and the value of each item in the task list as a loop iteration. This I represent the index of the current task, and the current task represent the current tuple from the task list, nothing but. And after that I'm just using um, condition one condition statement. With this I'm just comparing the task id with the inside my list. And if it is true, then those tasks is those recent tasks, those values are saved or stored inside this task variable, and my index is stored in the task index. And then if the value is not found, so I am just putting uh, this message to the user that no task found. You can use it or you can hide it also. And after that this function just putting uh, this if condition is not gonna work, againly this so againly this context is gonna happen. This is nothing but this task which will store the current task's value. This value is stored inside this key which name is task, and it will came the direct control in is came to the render function which have the delete html template. So which I can show you. This is nothing same. I'm just putting the cdrn uh, s- of the bootstrap and as well as the script folder, sorry. And I am just using one form, and along with that form I am using csrf token. That is must. If we use form and that form method is post, so it is must to use csrf token. And inside that csrf token I am just using one button, nothing but that delete button, which delete my data from those lists. And here I am just putting one line like are you sure this message to the user. And after that, if I press to this button, this delete button, my control againly goes to this route URLs, and by this route I am my control is goes to this function again, this delete function, delete task function, and then my control, this if condition is gonna true, if post is gonna true, and then delete task list and task index. That specific task index data is deleted by this del function. By this del, task list and task index is gonna delete. And the and it after that it will redirect you the home page again, as you can see in my program that, and in my application, that if I press delete, so sorry, uh, okay, so if I press on delete, if I press on delete, it will show. So okay, just have to like save Java. I'm just putting it 80%, then save. And if I delete, then it will show me a message that are you sure you want to delete. And if I press delete, then it will delete from my list. Nothing but it will delete. So againly I'm just for your uh, I'm just add two programs, learn Python and learn C, and I'm just 43% and I'm just save it. And if I press on this icon delete, and it will show me a message like it is a confirmation page. Are you sure you want to delete? And if I press on this delete button, then the condition is came to this if condition, and it gonna true. And then this delete is gonna work, and from that specific index my list details, that tuple is gonna delete. And after delete, after that, after pressing that delete button, that my control is coming to the home again. By I have seen you already this home, and I'm just putting this redirect home. So my control is again came to the home. So if I press, as you can see, if I press here, it will show like delete 5. I just want to delete the id 5 data. So if I press on delete, So it will again came to the home page again. As you can see here, there is no dynamic urls. It is simply localhost 8000. So this is all about this video. I hope you all are doing good and you all understand what I have written in my code. If you are getting or having any problems to understand my program, understand my code, please um mention it in the comments. I want to share the solution. So goodbye, very good night to all of you, and bye bye.